South Africans won. I mean, we win in everything. The whole Zulu versus Zulu parade situation that happened in America, and the Americans saying, "Oh, we've been doing this for years," after you were told that what you're doing is wrong and it is racist and derogatory, and then you come back and you're like, "No, we know what we're doing," etc., etc., and then we try to teach you that it's wrong, and then you get mad when we do the exact derogatory thing to try and get a point across. Do you see how you feel now? That's how we feel when we see shit like that.
All week, Black Americans have been talking about South Africans as if they don't exist and don't have culture, and told them to fuck up and mind their business. And then South Africans came back and started making Joe swinging harder on them. And now they're like, oh my God, our feelings. You can't talk about our culture. Baby, if you wasn't prepared to fight, don't swing. It's just that simple. If you can't handle what the fuck the fight is bringing, don't get fuck up. Simple.
Africans are screaming this is offensive and your response is crickets. Or worse, you don't get it, or you get it but you don't give a fuck. You just hate being called out, right? I mean, with your cancel, you guys invented cancel culture and yet you are so deserving of it, right?
What is good, you guys, and welcome on another episode. Thank you so much for tuning in as well if you are joining for the very first time. You guys, the conversation between South Africans and Black Americans is still going on, and I feel like I had somewhere that Nigerians are now joining as well. I'm not totally sure. It's now looking like, Black Americans versus Africans, but mostly South Africans, and people are even telling them that South Africans won this particular war. Because you guys do not even have a point. There was a lady that made a video talking about how Black Americans are so condescending to every other person, and they are now wondering why they are everyone's least favorite. And Black Americans are saying, yes, we know you all are not for us king folks are not king folks, or something like that. This is just a lot of back and forth, and so many of Black Americans as well are telling their people that it is time to apologize because South Africans won this particular one, and you guys should learn to take a defeat. I still stand on the fact that this wouldn't have been a conversation if both parties were able to communicate well and not fighting for power. Every conversation, especially when it comes to diaspora conversations like this, is not a fight for power. Like, if we are screaming and wanting to have unity, I don't think any unity is going to happen from this. I have seen this conversation dragged. I have seen close to 50 stitches regarding this conversation. South Africans are not backing down. They are not leaving this conversation, and a lot of them are even saying, we won. You guys have nothing on us and we are not scared. Without wasting much time, let's just get into this conversation.
Black Americans are always so condescending towards other groups in the diaspora. They want to act shocked when they find out that they are everyone's least favorite. You guys never want to learn anything. You guys think what you say goes, and when you do learn something, you choose ignorance either way. South Africans recently learned of the Zulu parade in New Orleans, and we said, okay, fine, we get that you guys want to celebrate the Zulu culture, but this is a huge misrepresentation of it. Mind you, the Zulu parade is also deeply rooted in racism, hence they do blackface on there. And what did Americans say in return? They said, we're not going to change anything. Fuck you guys. We do not give a fuck about your culture. Now, the girl you talking about depicted how you guys look when you don't want to respect other people's culture, and then suddenly Americans were all up in her comments saying all kinds of things and hurling all kinds of insults at her. Now, I don't know what you guys learn in your schools, but the stereotypes about Africa are really starting to get tiring, right? They're absolutely tiring, and the fact that it's grown adults commenting these kind of things when they have the opportunity to educate themselves is actually quite shameful. You guys are always the quickest to throw insults at people, then want to act shocked when other people retaliate. Now, you saying that girl is fighting she is not, baby. You guys are all up in her comments. You won't let her breathe at all. And you know what? I think it's time you guys get a taste of your own medicine. Yes, it is time. And I think that's what makes you guys uncomfortable. We're not going to stop, unfortunately.
Africans said the Zulu festival was racist and not a depiction of their culture. And in response to that, a lot of Black Americans said, oh, well, it's still going to happen, so I'm still going to go because it's been happening for decades. And why wouldn't I go? Because I support it. And if you had a problem then and now, why haven't you said anything? And this is my problem. You don't have to participate in something if you know it's wrong. Specifically, if you just learned that it's wrong. We know that the cities are going to throw these goddamn festivals and these things that we shouldn't be going to. You want to know why? Because they make money off of it. Whose money do they make off of it? Yours. If you know that someone is telling you it is wrong to attend because it doesn't depict their culture correctly, sounds familiar? You shouldn't be going. You shouldn't be attending. Whether it started when Jesus started walking this earth or not, you shouldn't take your black ass there. And this is why I hate that in this community, I have to speak up and say these things. And the problem is, y'all don't give a fuck. Like, there's things that I know are wrong and I don't attend. I wouldn't give a fuck how y'all felt about it. Number one, the false prophets y'all follow into these goddamn churches. I don't give a fuck how big they are. You will not catch my black ass in none of these goddamn churches, ever. I know they're wrong and I know they're out of pocket. So why can't you just accept that something is wrong and you shouldn't be attending it?
The hypocrisy and double standard from Black Americans regarding the Zulu parade conversation is insane. If there was somewhere in the globe a parade cosplaying Black Americans with stereotypical attire and whatever that sounds offensive to them, World War III virtually. A virtual World War III will happen. We know that. We know Black Americans. We know that. Don't even talk to me about this has been happening for hundreds of years. You need to understand the context. Because when Tyler, a South African-born artist, tried to explain. By the way, there's no video, no nothing, no digital footprint of her saying, I am not black. Everything that is there saying, I am colored, right? When she was trying to explain a racial/ethnic identity based on where she grew up, there was no understanding. There was no understanding that even though this has been happening for hundreds of years too, there was no understanding. But now that is something regarding Black Americans, the world needs to understand, the world needs to put it in context, while they cannot do the same thing. The Zulu people coming online and saying, okay, we did not know about this, but now that we're seeing this look offensive to our culture, to our personhood. And it's been happening for hundreds of years. You guys know nothing about New Orleans. You guys, no. The same way, you guys know nothing about South Africa too. And when the people, the actual Zulu people are complaining about how offensive this is, the Zulu people complaining about how offensive this is.
Americans love talking about freedom of speech and defending it, right? Until you criticize them. Because let's talk about this Mardi Gras Zulu parade. You know, the one where you guys dress up in grass skirts and blackface and act like complete clowns with Zulu warrior costumes and just making an absolute caricature. You know, the ones where South Africans are calling it racist. And this is exactly why you guys and your outrage is just a joke. And look, I'm not cancelling history. I mean, I know the Zulu parade was born from resistance, right? But you need to understand that intent is not equal to impact, right? If a community says this hurts, do you dismiss them or do you listen? It kind of reminds me of how people once defended blackface as just like harmless theater. Sounds familiar? It should, because you're now doing the exact same thing to a living culture. I mean, imagine if South Africans decided to throw a Thanksgiving Day parade, right? With pilgrim hats and genocide reenactments and American accents. You guys would lose your minds. But then when you do it, it's tradition. At this point, the hypocrisy is so loud. And be so for real. I mean, if this was a white frat with these costumes, you would cancel it immediately. But because it's Black Americans doing it to Black Africans, suddenly it's reclamation. Nah, this is a level of supremacy, and you're essentially acting like a colonizer, right? And you're just feeding off somebody else's pain to feel woke. I mean, South Africans are screaming this is offensive, and your response is crickets, or worse, you don't get it, or you get it, but you don't give a fuck. You just hate being called out, right? I mean, with your you guys invented cancel culture, and yet you are so deserving of it right now. I mean, bravo, America. You've literally mastered the art of performative wokeness, right? You tear down a Starbucks over cultural appropriation, hypothetically. But, you will defend literal blackface because it's your tradition. I mean, what's good for you, but not good for us, right? I mean, it must be nice. Can we just drop this actory? And if you're mad right now, it's because you know I'm right? I mean, you're okay with punching down as long as it's not your culture on the chopping block. But see, here's the thing. If you want world respect, or you want Black Lives Matter to be understood, and you want everyone to understand why saying all lives matter is insulting, then stop treating African cultures like your dress-up closet. So yeah, go ahead, type your angry comments, call me divisive, but ask yourself, why does pain only matter when it's yours? Drop your excuses. I'd love to hear the double standards.
I think it's important to say that Black Americans are constantly being victimized, though. So I think that the entitlement and defensiveness is actually a trauma response. And I think it spawns out of, like, we get disrespected all the time, and other people feel entitled to disrespect us all the time, and we do it occasionally, and then y'all want to jump down our throat. I think the entitlement stems from, like, well, everybody else gets to be fucked up, so why can't we be fucked up sometimes? Hence the doubling down. And I'm not defending it. I'm not saying it's a correct response. I'm just saying that's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm seeing happen. And I don't think that's an ethos of all Black Americans, but that's certainly how, in this moment, we're presenting ourselves on the internet. Traumatized people do fucked up ass shit when they don't actually unpack and heal from their trauma. I think a lot of us are still trying to work out and deal with the trauma of the fact that our culture can be exported all over the world and replicated all over the world, but we're still criminalized.
Yo, it's late at night and I'm fucking cackling. You South Africans, I love you. I love you so much. The way you're cussing off the Black Americans. They said the only thing they know about South Africa is Nelson Mandela and Mapiano. And then you guys come back with shout out to the police for doing their job. That's fucked. And they're steady trying to defend blackface, which is so fucking ironic. Yoy. And this is what I've been trying to tell the rest of the house. There is no point. There is no point going back and forth. There is no point in trying to educate. There is no point in trying to create dialogue. Because as far as they're concerned, they're the only Black people on the motherfucking planet. Mind you, I'm not going to lie, I've only met a handful that are actually intelligent and that can hold a conversation. So please, don't try and take some of them seriously, as painful and as eye-watering as it is.
I really feel attacked right now because why is South Africans coming at Black folks so hard? Because I didn't even know about this Zulu parade. I had heard about it before, maybe years ago when I was young, but I never knew at all what it was. You could have shown me a picture of it and I couldn't tell you what parade it was. Y'all are tripping. And you know, I love how Black Americans are keeping it very classy, because some of the things that I've heard y'all South Africans say, maybe y'all could be humbled very easily. But nobody wants to do that nasty work, but we could definitely go lower, because we know that there are a lot of dark things that go on in you guys' country. The world has America on a pedestal, and y'all can say they don't all you want, but the proof is in the pudding. A lot of people in the diaspora are doing is they're trying so hard to be American, or they have this idea that this is what American is, and so that's how they act. They have a hatred or a dislike, or Black people are this, Black people are that, Black people are lazy. You know, they have all of these preconceived notions of what white America has told the rest of the world. And so for them to identify with being American, they have to hate Black Americans. And that's just what it is. And this is why Black people always seem to be the blueprint, because we are literally fighting. We're not afraid to fight racism and call shit out. And while we're doing that for everybody, not just ourselves, because we call it out on every level, in every aspect, you guys everywhere else are still so busy caught trying to have this white delusional mentality where you're aligning yourself with the ideology of white people and what they've told you about Black Americans, or what we've told you that they've done. Like, you guys try to make it into a joke, like police brutality, when we all know that the things that these white people are doing in this country, they're doing that in you guys' continent, in you guys' country, and they're doing it at a far more destructive level, because you guys make up so much more of you guys' country. We only make up 15% of this country, but yet look at where we're at. You guys can't even touch the amount of success that Black people have accomplished in this country with the numbers that we have. But while we're trying to push the needle forward and talk about these things, we get met with jokes that are very, very like lame, to be honest, because it's like, damn, you didn't really have to try that hard to make that joke, but okay. It's better if everybody in the diaspora just hopped on board, but everybody wants to fight with us and talk about us. The fact that you guys mention it and make jokes about it and stuff like that, it's like you guys still aren't even here yet, so we can't even move forward collectively because you guys still think it's fun and game. In another 10 years, when you guys finally start to decide to start calling out all of this racism, then we'll be like, okay, we've been there, done that. That's why we still lead in everything that we do, because you guys are still brainwashed.
This conversation is even being addressed on the news. Everyone around the world are now getting into it. Even brown people are getting into the conversation. And, speaking of how this particular one, Black Americans are wrong, well, I can tell you for a fact that they do not want to hear. They do not want to hear that they are wrong, like literally. And from the point that I have seen some Black Americans make, I can understand. But at the end of the day, if the people who want this thing are saying it is wrong, I feel like they should still listen to their points as well. I don't think a day was ever going to come where blackface is going to be defended and seem right or make it seem right. I do not think, with so many conversations of the people that have been called out, especially palm-colored people, called out for literally wearing a blackface, I do not think that ever a time is going. There's ever going to be a time where we're going to be defending blackface. Let me hear what you guys think about this conversation. It's going on long, and I can even tell you guys it's longer than this. And South Africans are saying, if you all are not shutting up and accepting your mistakes, we are not backing down, and you guys are not going to win this, because you guys are always the one to call people out but do not want to be called out. Like, you guys are so condescending to so many people, and now you guys are shocked. And that conversation that I see, another point that I see a lot of people bring up is that black people, they come, they attack, knows how to attack other people, but when other people come from them, like, now they are acting like the victim, saying that they are copying them, they are cosplaying like them. Very long conversation. So let me hear what you guys think. Someone brought up a question or made a video stating that if reverse were the case, if Black Americans are now the Zulu people, and then there are other people cosplaying and not even rightfully displaying the culture, I think Black Americans are going to take it lightly, and I think the answer is no. Black Americans do not play when it comes to culture. So I do not think they are going to take it well. And this is the reason why I said, if both parties have been able to communicate well and understand each other, it will not drag on for this long. This person said, South Africa has a reputation for online wars. I do not know what they thought will happen. I am Kenyan, and I know they do not play, at all. So many people are saying, you guys cannot win South Africans on this one. If you guys think you can win South Africans on this one, think again. This person said, problem is, South Africans may argue amongst themselves like siblings, but we will not tolerate outsiders hurting us. Another person said, what gets me every time is their unverified comebacks. Who told them we don't have water, houses, electricity, internet, and whatever else they think we do not have in our beautiful country. I as well cannot believe that some people are saying there's no electricity in Africa, like coming out South Africa saying there's no electricity, there's no good roads. Come on, the internet is free. This is not even the conversation that I even want black people on both ends to even get to, because it's 2025. Why would you say there's no electricity? Then someone responded and said, you know what, throw in your hoodie, just send it to South Africa. We are going to wash it for you. Guys, this is getting too long. This person said less than 5% of Black Americans know about Zulu Parade. When South Africans started attacking all Black Americans, then those Black Americans that had no clue was offended. There is a creator right now going viral as well, a Black American creator calling his own people, calling Black Americans to order, saying, you guys are wrong. Just apologize. You don't need to participate in it, especially since they have been out and telling us that this is very wrong. And they are not even saying don't do it. They're just saying show it the correct way. Don't be racist about don't make it like a racist show. Just do it the way it's being done. We're not telling you guys to stop. This man is now online literally fighting for his life because so many Black Americans are coming at him for defending and speaking of that the way they are attacking the South Africans is not right, and South Africans have every right to correct them on them not representing them well. Like they literally have every right to be able to say, this is not being done well. Can you guys just do it better? Instead of saying it has been going on for years and that you all do not give a F about whatever it is that they have to say. That was the genesis of the. Let me hear what you guys think about this whole thing, because, like I said, this conversation is very long. The last one I have here said, guys, this has gone far too long. Black South Africans and Black Americans have similar experiences. We were put under white oppression, and if anything, we should draw closer to one another. Some of the comments from both sides have been very below the belt. None of this is helping. Humility and humbleness from both sides is required. Someone responded and said, it wouldn't have gone that far. I think this person is South African. If they just accepted what was said, apologize and drop it. They kept going saying they won't stop that ridiculous parade. That's cultural appropriation, and it is wrong. What do you guys think? Some South Africans as well took it far by literally cosplaying as a slave, picking cotton, saying, I saw another creator, a South African creator, I think, saying, you know what, I'm almost out of cottons. When are you guys going to get back in the field? Everybody wants to win. Like, it's a fight, and they are going deep low. The more low one party goes, another one is going to hell. Like, literally. Let me hear what you think about this whole conversation in the comment section. I will see you guys in the next one.